Hi, my name's Luke O'Neill, head trainer of the Volkswagen Driving Experience. This short presentation is designed to give you some extra information on the Driving Insights program you recently completed. We'll run through each of the activities from the course and give you some of our trainers' tips and hints on correct driving technique. Today we'll be using two Volkswagen Polo vehicles, the petrol-powered TSI and the diesel-powered TDI. So let's get started. The first activity in the Driving Insights program was seating, steering and braking. Let's go and have a look at the correct way to set yourself up to drive a car. Let's have a look at Jimmy. Jimmy thinks he's got it all happening. He's cruising, he's loving life, but this driving position is completely wrong. I've kicked Jimmy out of his car, but I've left his driving position as is. Let's jump in and get it into the right spot. There's a few things to consider with Jimmy's driving position. First and foremost, it's important to remember that all Volkswagen vehicles come standard with a steering wheel mounted airbag. It's important to remember when setting your seating position to ensure that you give these safety devices the best opportunity to help you in the case of an emergency. First thing I'm going to do to adjust Jimmy's position is to bring myself a little bit closer to the wheel. To determine what the best distance is from the steering wheel, there's a few things that you can adjust. Sliding the seat forward on the runners, adjusting the seat back, and also adjusting the height and the reach of the steering wheel. The best way to start is to put your wrists on top of the steering wheel like so. When your shoulders are coming out of the seat back here, you're still too far away. First of all, I'm going to adjust the height of the steering wheel. I'm going to bring it up that little bit more so that what I have is a very clear vision of the dials and the instrumentation in front of me. I'm going to bring my seat a little bit more upright. It's going to give me a lot more control over the steering wheel. And what I have now is that when my shoulders are sitting comfortably in the seat back, the wrists are on top of the steering wheel, I drop my hands to the correct driving position. I have a 90-degree bend in my elbow. Your hands should always be at the 9 and 3 position. No 10 to 2, no 12 o'clock, and no 12 and 6. 9 and 3 gives you good control over the steering wheel and therefore control over the car. During activity 1, you also ran through the slalom. This was the trainer's first opportunity to assess your skills behind the wheel. The slalom's a great exercise to combine steering input, throttle input and vision to make sure that you get the driving and steering techniques correct. So let's see how we do it correctly. First of all, my driving position is set. My seat's the right distance, the steering wheel height is set, and my hands are in the 9 and 3 position, which is where they're going to stay. As we set off, my vision is immediately lifted past the first cone and into the gap. As I keep going through each successive cone, I lift my vision to look to where I want the car to be. Important point. The steering is balanced, the inputs are smooth, and the car isn't being jerked through the slalom at all. Come to the end, come to a complete stop. The biggest tip with a slalom that applies through to your driving on the road is always look where you want to be. If you look at the witch's hat, you're going to hit it. Okay, you've seen the right way to do it. Let's throw Jimmy in his car, keep him in the same driving position, don't give him any tips, and let's see what happens. Okay, Jimmy, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! The vision activity in the Driving Insights program was set up to show you how to correctly place the car through a corner. Basically to show you how important your vision is. We've got some amazing corners on this piece of road, and what we're going to show you and demonstrate is how you need to move your head to change your vision to correctly place the car on the road. Let's give it a go. In many cases, where you want to place the car on the road is not directly in front of your bonnet. This corner here, for example, I'm needing to look through the windscreen and across to the left-hand side of the car to correctly place it. Another good example here, through the driver's side window to pick where I need to place the car. My head's constantly turning and it's giving my hands and my feet enough information to place the car correctly and safely on the road. The braking distance test in the Driving Insights program was designed to give you a practical experience of just how long it takes to bring a car to a complete stop in an emergency braking situation. We've set up the course here again, and we're going to show you 3 emergency brakes: 60 kilometers an hour, 90 and 110. Let's get up to 60 now. Our next test was an emergency stop at 90 kilometers an hour. Wow, big difference. The final test was the maximum legal speed of a fully licensed driver, 110 kilometers an hour. As you recall from the Driving Insights program and what you're going to see here, the stopping distance is massive. Cars do have amazing grip in the dry, but what happens in the wet? As soon as the road surface gets wet, the amount of grip your tyres have is reduced significantly. The safest technique for wet weather driving is to slow down. Following on from the braking activity is the swerve and avoid. This activity brings together the steering and the braking techniques that we tested in Activity 1. So the scenario we have is you're travelling on a dual lane carriageway, 70 kilometres an hour. Up in front, the car has come to a complete and sudden stop. You need to swerve to avoid an accident pretty quick. The most important thing to do first and foremost is to get on the brakes hard and stay on the brakes. Right now, your vision is super important. You need to have lifted your eyes to spy your escape route into the left-hand lane. As you swerve to avoid the car in front, stay on the brakes. Bring the car to a complete stop so you don't hit the car in front. Right now is a good tip to also check your rear vision mirror. There might be a driver who doesn't have your skills who may be braking late, and you need to prepare for that. During this manoeuvre, the car's inbuilt ESP, or electronic stability program, which houses anti-skid braking, electronic brake force distribution and brake assist, are all working together to keep your car controlled and balanced as you swerve and brake, making sure you can bring the car to a complete and safe stop. Ultimately, guys, there's a lot of factors that will affect you being a safe and confident driver. Being aware of everyone around you on the road and being aware how your driving habits affect other road users is paramount. Watch what's going on, take in a lot of information. That could be the difference between being involved in an accident or driving straight past. Don't speed. At the end of a journey, there's no one there waiting to give you a Formula 1 contract to race with Mark Webber next year, so it's pointless. Enjoy the drive, look after your mates in the car, and be a safe and confident driver.